time for a little R&R.
All into the bucket, lays it up and in.
Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy!
Light him up, Colin!
Well, we made it. We're at the end of the week. College football is officially here. We got a packed slate of games tomorrow. We had actually a couple games last night, too. Wisconsin was pathetic. Surprise, surprise there. But we got a lot to do, a lot to talk about, a lot to preview, including and especially the Micah Parsons trade, who was traded during the show yesterday from the Dallas Cowboys to the Green Bay Packers in exchange for 2 first-round picks and Kenny Clark. Going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully, happy to have everybody aboard. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. We got Colin Russo. Mike Rizzo is actually behind the glass today because you'll hear Christian Cat on the call today for ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. Jensen Beach and Treasure Coast will kick things off at 7 p.m. right here on these very airwaves. You can catch myself on the pre- and post-game on these airwaves.
We're bunking up tonight. What do you mean?
Yeah, you're going to be here as well.
We're bunking up,
You excited
man.
for that?
Yeah, a little bit. It's like my honorary once a year. You know, I did it once last year, you know, when Damian Perez, who's usually the one producing High School Game Day, I'm the fill-in. I'll tell you what, I felt like a toddler getting set up in here before the show. I felt pretty helpless when Christian and Dave were helping me set Russo and Rizzo up, but we got tonight.
Tonight should not be complicated.
We got tonight.
It should not be complicated.
You want to know who didn't have last night? Dude, are you aware your school put me to sleep? Your school, and with the help of Nebraska, and I know we got to do Micah, and the help of Nebraska, those guys put me to sleep last night. Colin, I was sleeping before you. It's the first time all year long where Mike Rizzo was counting sheep before Colin Russo, and it was courtesy of his football team.
What did I tell you?
God, they're terrible.
What did I warn you about?
Oh, God, they're
What
awful.
did I tell you?
I don't understand how bad. That's year 3 of Fickle. How is it that
now,
bad?
the quarterback got hurt.
Oh, he stunk. That guy stunk
I
anyway.
agree. Even when the quarterback goes down,
anyway.
3 points against a MAC school with 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Wisconsin playing Miami of Ohio yesterday in Camp Randall for week 1 on a night game on a Thursday night. And they won 17-0. The defense actually played well. I mean, they couldn't get anything going. Miami of Ohio's offense stinks, but they actually played pretty well. Nonetheless, they were terrible.
Dude, Miami's defensive end looked like Dwight Freeney in his prime in the first half.
He did.
I mean, my goodness. It's like they turned Miami of Ohio, battle of the bricks. I mean, Kyle, put me to bed. I woke up at 2 a.m., Kyle, and thought I missed Saturday tailgate. That's how out of whack I was because your team put me to sleep. And can we stop with the Nebraska? How about Matt Rule? Year 3 for that guy, too. Having a thriller. Thriller in Cincinnati.
Probably shouldn't have won the game, too. 20-17 final Nebraska-Cincinnati. But you're right. I completely agree. Nebraska was another team that you kind of expected to have a little bit of guts, a little bit of juice. Nothing.
I'm Big Ten Mike.
Big Ten had a bad day.
I'm proud.
Rutgers and Ohio went down to the wire.
Hang on.
Big Ten had a bad day yesterday.
Battle of the Bricks showed up. All right, I know Miami of Ohio's
offense. Did they show up, or does the Big Ten stink?
I'm Big Ten Mike, Kyle. That's the Big Ten we don't like to advertise.
Wisconsin?
That's the Big Ten. Colin, it's been like that for years since Coach Chris.
It's 2019.
Since Chris left.
2019.
Since Chris left, they've been a nightmare.
2019. So yeah, it's been about 5-6 years.
I thought, and then Boise stinks, right? I mean, 31-7.
Let's have a new Group of 5 team in the playoff this year. Yeah, I'm out on them.
The Bulls. Who is it? John on I-90 who called in and told us about, or Johnny Jensen. Yeah, Johnny and Jensen called in and told us look out for the Bulls. They kicked the crap.
They manhandled them.
It was 7-0 Boise. I'm like, they'll have it. Colin, I go and cover a high school game. I come, it was 31-7.
Yeah.
They didn't score.
It was good to have some college football back yesterday. Nonetheless, I wanted to watch my team and all my Wisconsin buddies who I know you text throughout the game. You're talking about this. You're talking about every play, every drive. And I'm sort of known amongst the Wisconsin people and Wisconsin fans generally. Packers, we'll get to the Packers, who have a right to be optimistic. Badgers, Bucks, even the Brewers, unreasonably optimistic all the time. That's how the Wisconsin fan is wired. Wisconsin football is no different. I am more of the negative Nancy, Because I'll tell them, like, this team stinks, guys.
Yeah,
What are we doing?
And
I'll be at the Middle Tennessee. I'm not going to be at the game in the building, but I'll be in Madison. They play Middle Tennessee next Saturday, and they have ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, which is the show I used to host, which is hosted out of ESPN Madison, and it's aired amongst ESPN Wisconsin. They have their pregame show, and it's going to be on site at a tailgate that I will stop by around 2 p.m. on Saturday. Hopefully, I'll be able to jump on for a segment, and I'm going to just rip the team apart.
Can you do me a favor? That's going to be right in the middle of the Ohio State game, but I want to listen. I want to hear you go on there.
Because I go on there, and it's me, Brad Nortman, a bunch of guys who are, born and bred Wisconsin, bleed Wisconsin, and I always just ran in the parade. The team stinks, guys. All right, enough about Wisconsin. If you watch that game, you realize that you should never bet Wisconsin minus 18.5 first game of the season against a pretty average opponent nonetheless. Can't do that.
Those games put me to bed. I'm happy to get the heavy hitters coming up week 1.
And then the only team in the Big Ten with 5 ranked teams on their schedule. How about that? Wisconsin. So it's going to be a tough sledding for the rest of the way.
Rightfully so.
Quarterback's not majorly hurt, though. Nonetheless, Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo behind the glass today. Speaking of Wisconsin, the Packers made the big splash yesterday. Mike and I sort of reported it at 5 p.m. at the turn of the hour yesterday. Micah Parsons gets shifted from the Dallas Cowboys to the Green Bay Packers. 2 picks and defensive tackle Kenny Clark in exchange for Micah Parsons. Jerry Jones spoke with the media. Classic Jerry Jones creating a headline here. Accidentally called him Michael a couple of times. Michael.
Are you sure that was on accident?
And Stephen Jones corrected Micah. Said Michael. So
I think Jerry, it's funny. Everyone's like, he made a mistake. I think Jerry, I think he knew what he was doing. I think he's bitter. One thing we learned is I think Jerry's bitter. I think he's bitter, especially after that press conference. Maybe we're reading too much into it.
Jerry did say a couple interesting things. He did say that he thinks the Cowboys can win more games without Micah Parsons than they can with him.
Well, he said they
did it.
He said they got rid of Micah because they need to stop the run, Kyle. Okay, Jerry. And listen, I like Jerry Jones. I like to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Reaching.
Wow, that was a bad. I can't even defend that. Listen, if you want to sit there and say he didn't want to be here anymore, we feel like 2 first-round picks and a proven NFL player was what he was worth, and we made the trade. We honored his request of wanting to be traded. No, God, no. It's we got to stop the run.
No,
we got to stop the run.
Jerry, did you realize he was a 3-time All-Pro player in 4 years? Did you realize this? That's pretty good. And the way I look at it with the Cowboys, and we'll talk to Mike Tannenbaum, the ESPN NFL insider, somebody who's been in these front offices when they make trades such as this, not as this magnitude, but nonetheless making big trades. And we'll get his thoughts on whether he thinks that this is a good trade, bad trade, good trade for both sides, bad for both sides. But I sit here still, as I said yesterday, I think this catapults the Green Bay Packers into another level. The way I view edge rushers is similarly, weirdly enough, to how I view running backs. Running backs and edge rushers are sort of the finishing pieces on a great team. Good teams become great when they add an elite running back, when they add another elite edge rusher. What builds the team is obviously the foundation of the offensive and defensive line, especially offensive line. You need a good quarterback. You need all that. That's foundational pieces. That's from getting bad to good. Then when you want to become good and get to great, that's when you need an elite edge rusher. That's when you need an elite running back. That's probably when you need a pretty good tight end, maybe a corner. Packers are good. They were good. They added an edge rusher. This, in my opinion, makes them great.
Now, I disagree with them being like running backs. Colin, I look at an Oregon, like for myself and the team.
Edge rushers don't make bad teams good, though. That's what I would say.
For myself and the team that I root for, they've been a bad team, but they have the edge rusher, to your credit. But when I build out a team, head coach, starting quarterback, chicken or the egg right there. Head coach, starting quarterback, edge rusher, left tackle to protect the quarterback.
I would do offensive line, period.
Corner.
I would do offensive line, period.
Fair enough. But that's what you need in order. You need a solid offensive line to protect your franchise quarterback. You need somebody that's going to be able to sack the other quarterback, and you need a lockdown corner. I think those are the most important. We talk about premium positions all the time in the NFL. Quarterback, edge rusher, corner, tackle, offensive line.
Now, the one thing I'll say is obviously the quarterback, head coach, and offensive line, I would say they're the most important 3. But defensively, there are great edge rushers on bad teams. Max Crosby is not lifting the Raiders to 10 wins off himself.
But Derek Carr kind of kicked the tires there,
Well,
and they haven't been able to figure it out.
But Myles Garrett's another example of this. Like, there are good edge rushers that play on bad teams. That's why I view it as not it's such an important piece. There's a reason they're paid as much as they are, but they're compliments to good teams to make them great. That's how I view it.
Yeah.
Because now the Packers didn't need Micah Parsons this year. They probably would have been good regardless. But now that they have him, they're very dangerous. And they have an Aiden Hutchinson type fearsome player, and he's better than Aiden Hutchinson. They have a player that's going to be the most game plan player on that defense. He's going to make lives easier for the secondary, which is already spotty for Green Bay.
Right.
And they have a great front seven. The Packers are going to be really dangerous here. A+ move. Now, you're on the impression, like you said yesterday, that the Cowboys, you actually like the return.
I do. I like the picks. And call me a miserable Brown fan, but I like the first round picks. It's the best thing a team has outside of their star players. It's what gives you hope. It's what gives you hope. And I think the Cowboys could trade said first-round packages to go up and get somebody if they like them. Say Arch Manning or whoever, whatever, count them. Dak. I know they got Dak Prescott under contract. It's just an example. Say they like a player, they're going to have the resources to go up and get them. And it is similar to the Browns, who have multiple first-round picks who could arguably do the same thing. Teams that have the most picks control the draft. I still, in the end of the day, think it's a win-win. But, Colin, if I could get on something quick. You mentioned, Garrett, bad team. Crosby, bad team. I think it's the lack of quarterback play. It is, and I think that's what's going to happen to Parsons in Green Bay. Everyone's so quick to throw a parade for Jordan Love.
That's true.
Everyone is so quick to throw a parade for Jordan Love.
There's more pressure on Love now than there was even a little bit on Parsons. Parsons can be great or bad. That team now completely resides on Love.
Outside of the secondary, because they lost Alexander, correct? Yes. Outside of the secondary, there's no excuses, I guess. I don't think there's anything like Jordan Love hid, and I say hid. He was injured. Fine.
They need to be a contending team.
He hid behind.
No excuse.
Played mediocre last year, and the excuse was he played. He was playing injured. All right. Well, this year is none of that. This year he's going to have to play well because it's a championship roster according to everybody. So I don't know. I think that Parsons could struggle, and quite honestly, Parsons struggled from lack of quarterback play in Dallas when push came to shove. Dak played unreal 2 years ago in the regular season when healthy, but you saw what happened in that playoff game against said Packers. So, you're right. These edge rushers are great. They're what put you over to the top. But I feel like a lot of those guys you mentioned, in Garrett and Crosby, their quarterbacks stink. I mean, the year that Garrett had good quarterback play, the Browns won a playoff game against the Steelers, and they made the playoffs with Flacco.
And the bottom point was, the edge rushers doesn't necessarily elevate the floor of a team. They burst the ceiling of the said team.
Yeah, that's you got to find your quarterback. You got to find your quarterback.
You put
first.
Myles Garrett on the Ravens, that team is probably Super Bowl favorites. That's just how much of a difference he is.
Would you? All right, meet me halfway. You'd agree it's a premium position.
Premium position. Okay. There's a reason it's paid the way it is.
It's a premium position.
But similarly, receivers are paid premium money. Yeah. So because of, you don't need a great receiver on a bad team. It doesn't do much for you.
You look at any team that's recently won a Super Bowl. They got a pretty good pass rush, right? They got pretty good players rushing the edge.
Absolutely.
And getting home.
Eagles had a great pass rush. The Chiefs are good at getting it to the passer. The Patriots were pretty good at getting to the passer. The Giants way back when were great.
O.C. Umenyiora and Michael Strahan.
So absolutely. It's a necessity to have a pass rush as a great team. As a bad team, making a good pass rush does not make you great. We have expectations for the Giants, but what we say is that team is probably not going to be very good, despite them probably having the best defensive line in the league.
I got to watch Russell, and I say I got to watch, I'm going to be watching Red Zone. I'm going to see all these teams. I got to watch Russell Wilson, I think, Colin, dink a dunk for 4 or 5 weeks, and then I think they put in Dart. I think that's what's going to happen there.
We'll see. Nonetheless, Green Bay makes a superb move here. It puts a lot of pressure on Jordan Love. And you mentioned something interesting. Well, you don't trust Love. Well, this is exactly, in a way, what the Bears did. What were the Bears flirting with when they went and got Khalil Mack about 7-8 years ago?
It was Mitch Trubisky.
It was when they were Mitch Trubisky, and that team was good. That team was dangerous. That team was fresh off a playoff run. Then all of a sudden, they bolster the roster surrounding him. They realized pretty quickly that Mitch Trubisky is not necessarily what we thought he was and not what we're looking for. And then you move on. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it becomes crumbling down. I'm not saying that's the Packers' destiny. Packers are that would happen to the Bears. It'd be hard to see that happen to the Packers because they're such a well-run organization. But I agree. I have questions about Love too. I have questions about Love.
it's to the point where I think they wanted to take their victory lap a bit too early.
Here's the problem.
That's too much money.
I don't have a conclusion about Love because I have to see what happens this year. Is that fair?
It is. It is. And I'm saying I don't trust him. He could simply make me eat my words. Comparatively to other quarterbacks, I think I can name 10 quarterbacks I'd rather have than Jordan Love.
Right.
I'm not going to do it, but I know I could name 10 quarterbacks.
Well, what have the Packers done well? They extended a couple offensive linemen. They drafted a first-round receiver for the first time in 23 years. That was a big deal for that general manager to make that move. Brian Gutekunst is somebody who plays cards close to the chest. Like, he's a reason he'd never played ball with Rodgers, and it drove people crazy. Now, all of a sudden, you got to imagine that there's some stock in the fact that he thinks that there is something here if he's willing not only to give away all the draft picks they have in the foreseeable future to go get a player like Micah Parsons, number one, but number two, they're willing to draft first-round receiver to help Love.
Did you get your bet in?
No. We're going to have to wait. It's probably going to be 10.5.
I told you to do that. I blame you.
So we were talking yesterday. What was it? It was probably 4:40.
Is your over-under win total?
It was probably 4:35 p.m. And I was saying I got to make that because we were talking about the Packers potentially going to get Micah Parsons. And I was saying how I got to go get my money in on Hard Rock Bet with 9.5.
And I said,
go do it. Go do it
right now.
18 minutes later, Micah Parsons traded to the Green Bay Packers, and Hard Rock Bet takes the Green Bay Packer win total off the app because they have to change it.
Too late, buddy.
Too late. We'll talk to Mike Tannenbaum, the ESPN NFL insider, former general manager of the New York Jets and executive vice president of football operations for the Dolphins. We'll get his thoughts on, of course, this trade and a whole lot more, especially with a packed college slate. Got a lot to do. It'll be a lot of fun. First, let me tell you, if you've been in a car accident, truck accident, it's hurricane season. If you slip and fall on your bicycle, my friends Mark Anajar and Glenn Levine at Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys, the type to fight for you. They don't even charge you unless you win. They work tirelessly to get you the maximum compensation that you deserve. They're the best in the business for a reason. Don't settle for just any attorney. Demand Anajar and Levine today because you got to demand the best. Don't waste any time getting back what you deserve today. Make that phone call to take control of your life. Change it today. Call 1-800-747-FREE. 1-800-747-3733. Take back control now with Anajar and Levine. Mike Tannenbaum coming up next right here on Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
What's the Anajar and Levine difference? If you're the victim of a car crash, you will always speak to a lawyer. You'll always get the highest standard of care from our dedicated legal team, and we'll always fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. That's the Anajar and Levine difference. Call our legal team right now for a free consultation. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Don't wait. Call 1-800-747-FREE. In office, West Palm Beach.
The season is kicking off. Keep your home in the win column with EDS Air Conditioning. Right now, qualified customers can score 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC. Hot streaks belong on the field, not in your living room. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8-star rating, EDS is trusted as the MVP, and it has been since 2006. Visit EDSIsYes.com today. Kick off your game day comfort and don't sweat the small stuff.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's DQ Grill and Chill's new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard.
This limited time treat combines DQ's signature soft serve, dyed blue, of course, along with sugar cookie dough, cake batter flavor, and sprinkles. The Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard is available for a limited time only at DQ Grill and Chill with 2 locations, 4828 Lake Worth Road and US 1.
Just south of North Lake.
Kaiser University's flagship campus. The 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 26 national championships, including back-to-back-to-back lacrosse titles, and they just won their first ever national championship for men's tennis. Visit KUCHawks.com for the latest on the championship flagship campus of Kaiser University.
It's the summer clearance event at Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach, and they need to sell 250 new Kias by month's end. This week, you can see the savings because the factory invoice is right on the windshield of every car in the showroom. Get up to $11,000 off MSRP. New Tellurides from $38,998, and lease the 2025 Kia K4 for just $199 a month with $34.99 due at signing. Plus, get 0% financing and up to $6,000 over KBB value for your trade. Open daily at 7:30 a.m. with no hidden fees and no surprises. Visit GreenwayKiaWestPalmBeach.com today. We want to see you in a Greenway Kia.
With approval to KFA, stock number SG005991, MSRP $45,235, 10,000 miles per year, plus tax tag and $999 admin fee. Discount includes all Kia factory rebates to dealer. Negative equity refinanced. Offers don't combine. Expires 9/15/25.
We want to see you in a Greenway Kia.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's DQ Grill and Chill's new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard.
This limited time treat combines DQ's signature soft serve, dyed blue, of course, along with sugar cookie dough, cake batter flavor, and sprinkles. The Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard is available for a limited time only at DQ Grill and Chill with 2 locations, 4828 Lake Worth Road and US 1.
Just south of North Lake.
Kaiser University's flagship campus. The 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 26 national championships, including back-to-back-to-back lacrosse titles, and they just won their first ever national championship for men's tennis. Visit KUCHawks.com for the latest on the championship flagship campus of Kaiser University.
I might be too strung out on compliments.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Big college slate tonight. Go get started on the Hard Rock Bet app because you today can start placing parlays, player props, overs, unders, game by game live. They have it all available to you on the Hard Rock Bet app. Go down today in the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Go to Hard Rock Bet because think about it. Just check out the Discover page and you can see what other users are putting together in terms of bets, game by game, player by player, leagues, table tennis, you name it. And you can just tag along and tag along. It's that easy. The interface is perfect. It caters to both the new player and the experienced player. So if you're brand new, you don't really know how to operate in a sports book, they cover to you as well. But if you're really intricate in your sports gambling and you want to, create crazy parlays, promo boosts, profit boosts, they have you covered there as well. Put in $5, get $150 in bonus bets today for the month of August. Utilize that today. It's Hard Rock Bet offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus. Physically present in Florida. The wager. Terms, conditions apply. Considered by gambling. Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo with you. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. We're at the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. Bombshell news in the Micah Parsons trade from Dallas to Green Bay. We need somebody with a front office experience to come in and shed us a little light onto the intricacies of making a move like this. Let's welcome in the former general manager of the New York Jets, the former executive vice president of football operations for the Miami Dolphins, current ESPN NFL insider Mike Tannenbaum joins us now. Mike T, welcome in. How are we doing today? What's going on?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. How you doing?
Excellent. Mike, I know you've talked about it plenty. We got to get a little bit of a sense here. Let's get your initial reaction when you saw that this trade was made yesterday around 5 o'clock.
Stunning. I just was just never thought Jerry Jones would do it. Here's a great player by any metric, 4-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, 26 years old at his prime of his career, and he traded him away. It's just stunning to me.
And from your perspective, did you expect them to ever trade him, or was it trading him to Green Bay specifically, NFC? Do you think any of that added to the element of surprise?
Yeah, and also just the time. If you're going to trade him back in March, right? And then get as much as you possibly can in terms of multiple picks, better picks from, a team that won't probably be as good as Green Bay, other young players, maybe it's Herschel Walker type of a haul, but I'm just stunned by trading him to Green Bay and just getting Kenny Clark and what will probably be 2, lower round picks.
Mike, I personally think the Cowboys got a lot. I think 2 first-round picks is arguably I personally think first-round picks in the way they're valued, Mike, is one of the more important things to a team. I think outside of star players, it's the next best thing. I think 2 first-round picks and a proven NFL player was pretty good for Micah Parsons.
Well, I mean, history will show that when you look at it over a long period of time, about 50% of the first rounders work out. And you really hope that that player turns out to be as good as Micah Parsons. Kenny Clark's going to be 30, coming off of a bad toe, had a sack and a half a year ago. He's a B. He's okay. And again, if they hit on one of those two picks and is close to Micah Parsons, that to me is really hard to do. You have a player that's absolutely unblockable, and he changes the game. He creates production for others, creates turnovers, and when you have a young guy like that, to me, you do everything you can within reason to keep him.
Mike, don't you think something just stunk there, though, that if Jerry's trading him, you mentioned you thought Jerry Jones would never do it. If Jerry's trading him, it was that unfixable, don't you think? I mean, he had to be traded, and if you're going to get 2 first-round picks for him, that's the next best thing, right?
Yeah, or they could have put a Band-Aid on it. We talked about that as well. Do you put a Band-Aid on it, like much the way Trey Hendrickson, Cincinnati, right, where you give him a little bit more for this year, and then you get to 2026, and it's a brand new year where teams have a lot more money, more cap space, and I saw some speculation today. You could maybe have turned into the first pick of the draft or the second pick, and maybe that was Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter. I mean, the possibilities are limitless.
Mike Tannenbaum, ESPN NFL Insider, joining us now on Russo and Rizzo. Mike, I thought this was a dynamite trade for Green Bay. I really commend that they were willing to do this a week before the season. I commend that they were able to sign him to the contract. I give Green Bay a lot of credit because that general manager's a good general manager, Brian Gutekunst, of course, with Green Bay Packers. He's done a good job in terms of roster construction. He thinks in blocks of years. He doesn't necessarily think too short-sighted, but he's finally making moves here that surprise Packer fans. Brian Gutekunst 4 years ago, you never think that they would make a major move like this. And on top of that, you never think that they would draft a receiver in the first round, which they never did for 23 years. He did both of that and both of those things in the same offseason here. We talked about what it looks like for the Cowboys here. What do you think this looks like for Green Bay, them making a move like this at this point?
Yeah, the best team in the NFC. They're also one of the youngest. And, Matthew Golden, the receiver you're referring to, I think he's going to be outstanding, great route runner. Josh Jacobs, a really good offensive line, 2 good tight ends, and Musgrave and Dawson Knox.
Yeah, Tucker Kraft you're thinking of. Tucker
Kraft. Yeah, excuse me. I always get those two. Yeah, Tucker Kraft. I like them a lot. So, and when you think about Rashawn Gary, and they still have Devontae Wyatt, Quay Walker, Xavier McKinney, this is a really good team.
Now, with the Packers here, you said they're best team in the NFC, at least to this point, in terms of what they've done with Micah Parsons and getting the young players in there. But for you and your experience with how you've made trades, you've been involved in front offices, the timing of it all, were the Cowboys up against the clock here and they sort of had to take the best offer that they had available to them at the time? Would they have been better off announcing this maybe months ago and allowing a bidding process to happen? Or was this Jerry Jones just operating in his own world here? I mean, how do you think the timeline played into this?
Yeah, I think the timeline really hurt them. Again, I think they would have been much better off if they had done it several months ago, create a sense of urgency at the combine, either get the deal done or, test the market in terms of the trade back then. They would have done much better. And totally, it's trading within the NFC is, another layer that just doesn't make sense.
Mike, you sold on Jordan Love?
I am.
So you would is that why you're rating them better than the Eagles? I still think Philadelphia is probably that best team in the NFC. Now, they're not going to return some of that Super Bowl roster, but I think what they're coming back, I would argue Philadelphia still. But you're sold on Jordan Love to the point where you think they're the best team in the NFC.
Yeah, Dan Orlovsky made a great point today. Jordan Love will turn the ball over, but when you have a pass rush with Rashawn Gary and Parsons, you're probably going to create some turnovers yourself. And, Jordan Love to me is almost like what you're looking for from a prototype quarterback, athletically, arm strength. He got hurt in the opener in Brazil a year ago, ironically against Philly. If he could stay healthy, they're going to be hard to beat.
Well, are you always in favor of, if there's that great of a player in your hands, whether you're a great team or a good team or a bad team, are you always in favor with somebody with front office experience? Is it more important to you to just get the guy paid, do what he wants here? I mean, is it more of just let him do it? He's that good. You almost have to just play to his rules? How do you think the front offices and the dynamic between Parsons played out?
Yeah, the contextual, like, you got to contextualize things, which is, look, you can't pay them all, but there's just certain non-negotiables. If someone can score points or sack the quarterback and they're young in their prime, unless they're just intolerable, absolutely intolerable, which I don't think Parsons was, maybe not always easy. I mean, that's what you're trying to get. You're trying to get a guy that on every single snap, you have to account where he is, how you can defend him, how you're going to block him. They're just so hard to find. Myles Garrett is another one. Maybe T.J. Watt, Max Crosby, when he's healthy, like Aiden Hutchinson, he was hurt. I mean, you're talking about 8 or 9 players in the entire sport that could impact the game the way this guy can.
Mike, what do you expect from Dallas next year with no Micah Parsons?
4th best team in the NFC East. I think Washington and Philly draw a line. Once Jackson Dart starts playing, the Giants will be relevant again with a good pass rush. And look at Dallas. They just got, maybe Donovan Ezeraku comes along for BC, their 2nd round pick. Looks like Demarion Overshone is still hurt. He'll be out for a bit. Chavon Ravel, a corner that they were hoping for, is going to start the year on NFI. Trayvon Diggs coming off of an injury. They have question marks at every level of their defense. Mozzie Smith, former 1st round pick, hasn't worked out. So a lot more questions than answers right now on that defense of Dallas.
Now, Mike, your front office experience, obviously you weren't an owner at the same time as being a general manager, but when you make a move that you have to explain to the public, and you make a move that you have to explain not only to the press, but you almost have to explain to the fan as to why you did it, why you felt like you had to do it. Was there a moment like that for you where you're sort of playing damage control in terms of just trying to explain yourself in the moves that you have made, similar to what Jerry has done probably in the last 24 hours?
Yeah, sure. Big trades, Brett Favre, amongst others, Tim Tebow. Like, yeah, you got to get out there and tell your side of the story, and not everyone's going to agree. And that's part about running a team. And hey, this could work out for Dallas, and Jerry Jones may have the last laugh, but I'm just hard pressed to understand how you get better giving away such a great player when you fully expect those 2 1st-round picks to be 25 to 32.
Right, Mike. Apologies if you don't know this information. I just heard a lot about it. I want to ask, did you hear anything about the agent and Jerry Jones? Obviously, I got the spark notes about the agent. He did the Deshaun Watson deal, and apparently Jerry was being difficult. Do you know anything about that situation?
Well, look, at the end of the day, it was reported that Jerry wasn't even engaged with him. So, he's a good agent. He's formidable and has a lot of good clients. At the end of the day, the market was the market. It was going to be north of $41.5 million. So, once TJ Watt got signed, I thought this deal was kind of easy to get done.
Mike, last thing here. With the packed college slate this weekend, the last weekend before we kind of dive into NFL football, what games do you have your eyes on? Obviously, there's the Ohio State-Texas game, but is there any storyline you're following throughout the weekend on the college side?
I like our local Hurricanes. I think Carson Beck's going to play really well. Very experienced quarterback, good offensive line. I like them against Notre Dame. I'll be interested to see Notre Dame's passing offense. I know they could run the ball, but I like our hometown team on Sunday night.
Now, Mike, Arch Manning's going to wait a week, right, until he becomes Arch Manning?
What do you mean?
Ohio State's going to win the game, right, Mike?
I really like Texas's defense.
Uh-oh. That means no, Mike. That means no.
Yeah.
You're Texas
here. I think that's going to be a lower scoring game, and I think we're going in talking about Arch Manning. I think we're going to be coming out talking about that Texas defense.
Wow. Okay. All right. I'm expecting, Mike, that the Texas will call the coin toss, whatever, win the toss, request the ball, go down and score first drive. That's what I'm expecting, just to piss off Mr. Rizzo. That's all I'm hoping for.
Arch Manning's going to wait 1 week to be Arch Manning. It's okay. He'll be all right. He'll be a great pro, a great college player. He'll be all right, Mike.
Mr. Tannenbaum, we appreciate it as always. Appreciate the insight into the back and forth of the trade. Looking forward to talking again next week, all right?
Thanks so much, guys.
You got it. That's Mike Tannenbaum, the ESPN NFL insider, the former general manager of the New York Jets. Appreciate it as always. Sounds like he's pro Packers here. He's big on the Packers.
He's big, and I tried to, Mike, they got something. No, he shut that down.
I agree with that.
He's with you. He's with you. He thinks that
pick 25 through 32 for 2 years is nothing for me.
You control the draft. Those with the most first-round picks control the draft and can get whatever said player. Mike said it himself. 50% of first-round picks are hits. I'll take those odds if you're. It's not, and it sounds
not 50% of players are Micah Parsons.
Agreed, but Mike didn't want to budge either on the agent thing. I mean, I think that's what it was.
That sounds like what it was.
That's why I wanted to ask. Like I had to ask. I knew Mike was probably going to give that answer, but I had to ask if it was all the agents. So I think that's what it comes down to is Jerry not wanting to play ball.
He doesn't want to play ball with the agent. I think that was it. And $47 million.
He called him Michael Parsons. Like, I don't think that stuff's like, listen, I still think Jerry Jones is a very sharp individual. I don't think he called him Michael on accident.
This is mind games, and this is a you-know-what contest, as you said yesterday.
Correct. I wish I could say that word because that's like one of my favorite things. Like, it really is.
The you-know-what contest.
It's a you-know-what contest, and they had more of it.
That's it. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, 888-760-3776, number to get into the program. Packers, are they amongst Eagles level in the NFC now with Micah Parsons? And as Mike Tannenbaum said, are the Cowboys closer to being fourth in the NFC East than they are to being second in the NFC East? Are we really at that point because of that?
They're not finishing dead last in that division, but it's,
we'll see.
Not dead last.
I think the Giants have them that second game. So if that's the case,
the Giants are going to take 5 weeks to figure out Russell Wilson stinks, and he's going to dink and dunk.
I think Russell Wilson will actually be halfway decent.
Don't the Giants have a tough schedule? They got a horrible. Yeah, so they're going to play
Commanders, Wilson. Cowboys, and Chiefs for the first 3 games.
So Wilson will lose his job after week 5. They'll play Jackson Dart and win 6 games.
I think Wilson will be halfway
They'll
decent.
Be better. They'll be
Wilson
better.
will be halfway good.
Dable and company might keep their job because that Dart kid might play well. I was very down on him coming into this year.
Wilson will be actually halfway decent.
No, come on. He's going to be Pittsburgh all over again.
Well, Pittsburgh
had a better roster, too. Last year, Pittsburgh had a better roster, in my opinion, but
offensively, it's comparable. But I understand what you're saying. Russell Wilson will be halfway decent. I do think so. With that offensive-minded play caller. You're playing for a good offensive play caller comparatively to a bad offensive play caller last year.
Really good to throw into the running back and the guy on the 4-yard out going out of bounds, Cal. That's all I'm saying.
He's a good deep ball thrower. He was. Let's see if he still has that. Nonetheless, Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Russo and Rizzo taking a time out here on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
All right, it's time. The NFL season kicks off next week, and the Florida Heat and Hurricane season is already bringing the pressure. I'm Colin Russo, and Cassidy AC has the winning playbook for your home comfort. Here's first down. When major storms roll in, flip the breaker off and shut your AC off to avoid a costly power surge. Second down. Call Cassidy and add surge protection before the storm season blitzes your system. If your AC is playing like a tired defense in the fourth quarter, upgrade now and score $500 off your new installs. Plus special financing with payments starting at just $92 a month. Cassidy's been Palm Beach County's MVP since 1960, with highly trained technicians who could tackle any system, any brand, any age. And if you really want to protect your home turf, join the Cassidy Care Club with priority service, regular tune-ups, and discounts all year long. Don't forget, 90% of breakdowns on units under 10 years could have been prevented with regular maintenance. Don't let your AC get sacked this season. Visit CassidyAC.com today. Cassidy AC, the ultimate home field advantage.
Whether it's a clutch touchdown pass, a game-winning dunk, or an impressive dash to the finish, we want to highlight the best performance of the week. The winning performance will receive $500 courtesy of Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Catch the biggest moments and winners all season long on ESPN 106.3 and ESPN West Palm Play. Nominate them today by emailing highschool@espnwestpalm.com. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Welcome to being treated like a pro.
Canes fans, mark your calendars. The season kicks off Sunday, August 31st at 7:30 p.m. with a primetime showdown against Notre Dame at Hard Rock Stadium, followed by 3 September home games against Bethune-Cookman, University of South Florida, and the Florida Gators. Tickets are moving fast. Don't wait. Grab your seats now at MiamiHurricanes.com/football tickets. That's MiamiHurricanes.com/football tickets. Get yours before they're gone.
Does your business leave a lasting impression? Attractive, eye-catching signs help you stand out from the crowd and create a strong brand identity. Our team at Signorama West Palm are experts in helping your business get noticed and get effective signage in front of your potential customers. Our team can turn your blank windows or plain vehicles into money-making branding machines by drawing customers' attention to your business. So if you're looking to leave that lasting impression, call us 561-687-7993 or visit signoramawpb.com.
Tina, I've been looking everywhere for you.
Hey, Colin, what's up?
How's the gym?
It's been great. I'm seeing results. My sports-certified Vitacost products have made a world of difference.
Oh, same. Isn't it great? Vitacost is basically the reason I've been able to keep up with Ironman training. Everything you need is in one place for my BCAAs, protein, and electrolytes. Best part, it's all clean and free of banned substances.
Go re-up on your supplements today. Visit Vitacost.com and use code ESPN20 for 20% off. Level up your game with Vitacost.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Well, if you're a sports fan, you're entering this weekend, hoping to get your sports fix with finally a good college football slate on the docket. Open up your ESPN app and you see that it's almost brand new. The ESPN direct-to-consumer product did just launch, and you can get started today by signing up. If cable subscriptions do not apply. But what it does is if you check it out, you get SportsCenter for you. What does that mean? Well, you set up your favorites, whether you're a Ohio State fan, a Texas fan, you're an Alabama fan, but you like rooting for the Braves, but you also like the Yankees and you like the Los Angeles Rams. Well, you can just set those teams to your favorites in the ESPN app, and all of a sudden you open up the Verts feature, scroll. All right, here's what happened in the Los Angeles Rams game. Scroll again. Oh, here's the Yankee game. Up, scroll one more time. Here's Alabama football. It's catered to you. It's personalized for you. That's what the new ESPN app has to offer. All these great new features. You can watch 4 games at once in the multi-view feature. Your fantasy updates are updates with your team live, so you can actually watch that in real time alongside the game. You can stream all of ESPN. That's all the games, all the shows, First Take, SportsCenter, the entire 30 for 30 library. It's all in one spot. That means Monday Night Football, college football, NBA, college hoops, volleyball, gymnastics, lacrosse. The list goes on. It's all in one spot. You know it. That's ESPN. Sign up today. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, with you now on Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. If you missed any of Mike Tannenbaum, missed any of the program, you could go watch back or stream back on our YouTube channel or our Facebook and Twitter at ESPN West Palm, or catch us on our podcasts at Russo and Rizzo, Apple, Spotify, all those great places. Well, we talked about how Texas is going to wait a week for Arch Manning to become Arch Manning. We could finally talk about it.
Doomsday. Everyone is Texas is just too good. They understand they have Steve Sarkisian as their head coach? All right. Says, when does that guy win a big game? When did that guy win a big game, Kyle? Remind me.
Has Day won a big game before last year?
Well, he won 4 in a row last year.
All right, well,
recency bias.
Well,
hang on. Guy beat Notre Dame. Okay. They beat Utah in the Rose Bowl. They've won big games before.
Utah in the Rose Bowl, me.
They beat Michigan in 2019.
Even you don't believe it. Don't Utah in the Rose Bowl, me.
Notre Dame at Notre Dame was a tough game. Remember, he wanted to fight Lou Holtz after one of the fight. I literally fell out of my chair laughing at the end of the game after I was sweating that one out. Colin, everyone I talk to, including Buckeye fan, is doomsday. Arch Manning's the greatest quarterback ever. This is the greatest Texas team ever. I'm not there. I'm sorry. I refuse to lay over and die. That's all I'm saying.
What's your expectation for the game? Let's finally get into it. We got a preview for tomorrow, 12 o'clock noon kickoff on Fox. That's Texas, Ohio State in Columbus. Game day is there. Lee Corso's last pick on College Game Day. Your official walk through what you're expecting for tomorrow.
I think first quarter is going to be slow scoring. I think it could be 0-0 at the end of the first quarter. I think it could be anywhere from 7-0, 3-0. But I think the Buckeyes will settle in as the home team. I think they ultimately end up winning 21-17. I think the Buckeyes cover, and I think it's down to a pick'em now. Like if you go to our good friends at Hard Rock Bet, Kyle, I'm pretty sure it's down to a pick'em. I took the Buckeyes at 2.5. So I'm gonna need them to cover 3. I got 21-17. I think Jeremiah Smith scores twice, and I think Arch, probably an interception, a touchdown, an interception. He'll look good running the ball, but I think it's going to be generally low scoring, and I do think that both defenses are going to look sharp. And I think the young quarterbacks in Sayin and Manning, I think both of them are going to have a turnover and set up, the respectable offenses. But I think the Buckeyes eke it out 21-17. And I do think there's a chance we live in where Ohio State blows the doors off them. I do.
You think that's possible?
I think that's possible. I think they're tired of hearing the hoopla. Ryan Day's been saying brick by brick, we're building new. Last year means nothing. Those guys know that, the championship last year doesn't mean anything. And I think when you have the two best players on each side of the ball that have been hearing a lot of stuff on how great Texas is, I think people forget who won the championship last year. So
different team.
I just said that, but what I'm saying is they're using that for fuel for themselves. Is that why is Texas being crowned the greatest team ever?
Because it's not that different from what, it changed your quarterback, but they got a lot of returning pieces.
I think the Buckeyes do as well. And I think there is a chance that the home team with Jeremiah Smith, who I think is going to go for like 12 for $150, I think that's a real possibility.
Does Texas take a lead in this game?
I think they probably score first.
Off the coin toss first drive of the game?
No. They'll defer if they do that. Sarkisian's not an idiot. And I'm not calling you an idiot for having that take. I actually love it. I hope they do that and they go 3 and out.
Well, what my take is that they're going to win the coin toss, request the football, and go right down the field and score.
Stupid. It'd be stupid to not take the ball at halftime on the road in arguably the third hardest place to play in the country behind LSU and Happy Valley. Be dumb to do it. Right?
It's dumb until you do it, and then it works. It's dumb till it's not.
So we're all going to be watching the coin toss.
If they request the ball, you're screwed.
So you think Sayan's going to you think Sayan stinks?
I don't think he stinks. I think the new quarterback I think he's going to struggle. I do.
Really?
Yes.
At home?
Yes.
It's not going to be Manning, the one who struggles?
There were games where Will Howard struggled, and that guy was experienced as they come. And that was a great, great team last year. And with a great rushing attack with 2 NFL running backs and multiple NFL receivers.
Manning's plug and play? That guy's just going to be the greatest quarterback ever from the jump?
I don't think he has to do as much for them to be great.
You
comparatively to Sayan. I think Sayan's going to need to have a little bit of heroics in order for them to be great. I don't think Texas is going to.
He's got 4 or 5 stars to throw to and the best tight end that the money could buy in Max Clare.
Hold on. Will Howard had those moments. That team was as good last year, and he was an experienced player.
Hang on. The Oregon wasn't the lack of scoring points. That brother forgot the timeout. I'll give you the Michigan game. That's it. That's the only game I'll give you. Michigan.
All I'm saying is the new guy is going to feel the moment. I don't think Manning will. And
Ryan Day put that kid through the ringer. Keep that in mind.
Fine. I expect if there's an advantage quarterback, I'm going advantage Texas.
Even on
if
the road.
If there's an advantage mojo, I'm going advantage Texas. The last game they played was against Ohio State. The last game they played was against Ohio State, and they lost. That pisses them off. A loud and proud school like Texas, who's thinking this is finally their year, they are going to be extremely motivated. I'm not saying Ohio State won't be, but Texas is going to have that chip on their shoulder that you almost can't replicate other than a big loss in a big spot like last year.
There's no mojo with the Buckeyes coming off a championship?
No
mojo.
None.
No mojo.
None.
No mojo at all this season. With
Zero. No mojo.
That is such a Colin.
Bad take.
That's
Mike,
you're dead wrong there.
Mike, when it's 27-15, and that's going to be the final score.
Oh my! How do we score 15? You're going to kick 5 field goals.
13, and you get a safety on a punt.
Oh God!
So when you get a safety on a punt, and you're writing home about it in the second quarter, and then Texas starts landing on.
Coach Day is the ultimate motivator. And I think he's telling his team.
Motivator? How does he motivate them against Michigan? Talk about motivation. What do you mean motivating them for what? They haven't beat Michigan in 5 years.
So what?
So what?
So what? They won a title.
You don't believe that.
I know.
I
don't believe it. But at the same time.
You don't believe that.
It's so funny to me. It's like you guys, like I say you guys. Hang on, time out. Let me finish. Everyone goes, oh, you better be happy you won a championship. But anytime I go to brag about the championship, the same people who say, be happy you won a championship go, oh, well, you can't beat Michigan. Who won last year? You're telling me there's no mojo? You're dead wrong there.
No mojo.
They got the best player in the country on both sides of the ball. You're wrong.
Zero.
You are wrong.
Mojo.
5-star quarterback Julian Sayin, who sat behind Will Howard all year last year. That doesn't do anything?
None.
Day putting them through the ringer brick by brick.
You're so offended that
I am
the number one team in the country. I think that the number one team in the country is going to beat an Ohio State team that is losing at least a lot of capable offensive players.
Who on offense? The running
the
backs?
quarterbacks, the quarterback, Mike.
Dude, they're fine. They got a 5-star in saying. They're all good, mate.
Don't mention
They're
the
all good.
recruiting number.
They got a
Dylan, you watched Dylan Raiola last night? What was his rating?
All I'm
You
saying,
watched him last night for Nebraska?
That kid was going to play for Saban. Keep that in mind. And you're going to find out who James People and C.J. Donaldson are, big guy. All right? You're disrespecting the name of those two guys.
How Dylan Raiola was a 5-star, right? How did he play?
Colin, they have Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, Brandon Innes, Quincy Porter, and Max Clare. That guy's got more tools than an engineer on a spaceship.
And then we're going to be sitting here on Monday thinking, how did Ohio State lose that game with all that talent?
Oh, I can't
And then
wait.
you're going to point
Dude,
to one person and one person only, and it's the quarterback who stinks.
I hope you know.
There's a reason that there was a quarterback battle until 2 weeks ago.
So, all right, you finally admit it. You think saying stinks. I caught you in a trap. If Ohio State wins, I'm going to be insufferable, by the way. I hope you know that. With what you're putting me through
You're
right
nervous.
now.
You're nervous.
I am nervous. But what this office has put me through as well, dude, when Florida State loses by 30, okay?
That's fine. I agree
when
there.
Florida State gets the doors blown off them by Alabama, all right? When everybody's team loses and I'm the last one standing coming off a national championship, I will be insufferable.
I wonder how you're going to feel.
You guys are going to have to wear it.
I wonder how you're going to
big guy.
feel. I wonder how you're going to feel when Wisconsin has a better record than Ohio State.
Dude, what is your drink before the show?
I wonder
Colin,
how
you're
you're
not a
going to feel.
boozer. You're not a boozer,
I wonder
mate.
how you're going to feel.
I'm wondering.
I wonder how you're
So
going to
Ohio
feel.
State's going to lose 5 games this year?
No. After this week, you're going to have an 0-1 team and a 1-0 team. That will bother you.
I don't think so, dude.
That will bother you.
Even if the Buckeyes lose, I will not be. I'll be down. I'll be down bad because you're going to make me be down bad. You're going to make me be down
Texas
bad on Monday.
team is going to come in and they are going to punch them in the mouth.
Punch them in the mouth at home.
27-15.
After hanging a banner, you don't think the Buckeyes are going to be ready to play? What did
when they
Ryan
hang the banner with a bunch of guys who are no longer there, and then they go to the center part of the field to do the coin toss, and Arch Manning does the arms close to chest, we want the ball signal, everybody's going to forget about that banner really quick.
So home field advantage means nothing.
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 Not
at
in this
all.
game.
Means nothing at all to a quarterback who has the.
We're watching
who has
what
more
LSU.
Pressure? Who has more pressure?
We're watching what LSU did when they came onto the scene and beat Texas at Texas. We're going to watch that with Texas at Ohio State.
Who has more pressure, Arch Manning or Julian Sayin?
Pressure? I mean, I think
you know it. You know the answer.
Pressure, but who do I think is going to respond to the pressure the most? Arch Manning.
All right, so you think the guy who is supposed to be
pressure has nothing to do with how he'll play.
I love my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, but you think the guy who's being compared to my Lord Jesus Christ himself, who's on the road, first time as a starter, at arguably one of the hardest places to play in the country, you think he's going to respond better to the guy at home?
Yes.
Okay.
Acting like that's crazy when it's
I'll hold you to it.
When it's the Heisman favorite, number 1 overall pick favorite.
I'll hold you to it.
Acting crazy.
I just, I
haven't heard a peep about Julian Sayin. Julian Sayin was getting second team reps early August. I mean, I don't want to hear it.
Dude, hang on. They compared it to Dwayne Haskins and Joe Burrow, the competition, by the way.
2 great players, or 2 great college players at least. Haskins is a great college player.
Haskins that year, by the way.
50 touchdowns.
Thank you. You don't think that means anything? Ryan Day, who churns out quarterbacks more than anybody in the last 10 years?
Not big time.
Nothing.
Not big time pros.
CJ Stroud's a big time pro.
Depends who you ask.
And what do you mean? I just saw an article that Justin Fields is going to be the next Sam Darnold.
Right. You're going to be annoyed when they lose and when Texas scores first and they don't look back. Ohio State is not going to be able to move the ball, and you're going to text me mid-first quarter saying this quarterback is not good.
Won't be able to move the ball with Jeremiah and all my guys?
Yeah. You don't think Texas knows Jeremiah Smith exists?
Jeremiah, by the way, had to hear all year long, all offseason long from Texas people saying
Ohio
that they
State's
bracketed
more worried
him.
about Michigan than they are about Texas. Texas,
you're dead
the
wrong.
last loss they had
Dead wrong there.
was Ohio State. That means something. That bulletin board material fuels the team throughout the entire offseason. Texas knew that they were coming into this game the entire offseason.
So
the entire spring, the entire summer, even through the winter when they saw Ohio State win it all. They thought we didn't have them, but we actually competed with them and had at least an opportunity, and they beat us. That will eat at them.
You're going with Sark?
I am.
You're going with Sark over Ryan Day?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait for Monday. Can't wait. I'm the cocky guy. Everyone's doom and gloom. I'll be the cocky guy.
It's such a mask, too.
I'll be the cocky guy.
It's such a mask.
I'll be the cocky guy.
You're coping for your anxiety about this game.
Not coping.
You're coping for your anxiety about this game.
Who's the best player in the country on offense?
It's not a receiver.
Who's the best player in the country on defense?
That's not a safety.
You're dead wrong there.
Not a safety.
The two best players in the country play
insignificant
in scarlet
positions.
and gray. Insignificant positions. Was it insignificant during the college football playoff?
You know what was not insignificant? Will Howard playing great. The offense was great. The running backs were great. The defense was great with a bunch of seniors. And now we're looking at a bunch of replacements. And this is going to be the island of misfit
you're
toys.
Wrong. You're dead wrong.
This is going to be the island of misfit
dead wrong
toys.
There. Outside.
You're going to wonder why these guys are going to be taped together. And you're like, you know what? No. This doesn't really work like it was last year.
Best secondary in the country, best linebackers in the country. I'll give you the D-line.
Mike, they're going to lose.
They're not going to lose.
They're going to lose.
They're not going to lose.
I'm looking forward to your reaction.
I'm looking
when it is 34-3.
I'm going to wear a Brutus head in this office on Monday when they win 21-17.
34-3.
Oh my God. Now you're just dangling that hook in front of my
27-15 is my official score.
All right. In all reality, I know we got to get to a timeout. Colin, in all reality, I can't believe how many people are on Texas when the Buckeyes are the home team. And with the roster that they have. You tell me they lost a lot, Colin. They added a lot in the portal. I understand you can't replace the edge rushers. D-line might be a problem.
And there's questions at the quarterback. Whether you think he's a great prospect or not, there's a question at quarterback.
I'm going to trust Ryan Day, who has never had an issue at that position since he took over in 2019.
Right, but he had a lot of guys who, you're talking about beating the best team in the country here.
According to who? A bunch of old guys drinking coffee in the press room?
Mike, this team can't be that bad. Geez. Are they 16? They're the favorite in the SEC for a reason.
Colin, you are the biggest component of Riz. I got to see these teams play. I got it. And now you're sitting here telling me, wow, how do we know this stuff yet? Blow the gasket over here.
27-15.
All right, fine. You're dead
Mike,
wrong.
I'm making a prediction. I don't know. I don't know. Sorry. 27-15.
I'm just surprised.
I have more guarantees about Texas than I do about Ohio State. I trust Texas's defense more than I trust Ohio State, and I trust Texas's quarterback more than Ohio State, and I trust Texas's motivation more than I do Ohio State. That, to me, will be the difference maker.
Patricia's worrying. That's it. Patricia and the D-line. Heartline's plug and play. Everything else is fine. D lineman and Matt Patricia. Secondary, that guy could call man-to-man defense the entire game. The secondary will be fine. And Sonny Styles could be a preseason. I think he is a preseason All-American. You could fact check me on that.
27-15. 27-15. Mike says 21-17.
21-17 Ohio State.
All right. 27-12.
Dude, Texas. Enough with these scores. Now you're just trolling. Now you are trolling. Give me a real score.
27-15 is my final score.
Okay. All right.
Safety?
You're gonna think the Buckeyes are getting a safety?
On a punt. That's my big prediction.
If they get a safety, I'm
on
going to laugh.
On a punt.
On a punt.
That's it. It's going to go over the guy's head into the end zone. All right? So count your days when Texas number one gets the ball and number two, Ohio State's first points are a safety, you're going to know I'm onto something.
So the guy,
you're going to know I'm onto something.
Let me get this straight. The Texas man who's the punt returner is going to try to return it from the end zone and get tackled.
It's going to go over the head of the punter, and it's going to,
because if it goes out of bounds, it's a touchback, mate. So he's going to. If he touches it, it's a touchdown for Ohio State.
He's going to have to grab it, and then he's going to get tackled.
And be in the end zone and get tackled.
It's going to go over his head, and he's going to have to save it.
That's the only way that happens.
That's it.
That is ridiculous, and that's how I know Ohio State's going to win.
It's not ridiculous. It's going to happen. All right, Mike. Buckle down because you get Ohio State, Texas tomorrow at noon on Fox. That is big noon. Game day will be there as well. We'll get into the rest of the slate a little later on. As we enter into the second hour, we get the 5 at 5 coming up. It's Russo Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
A resort destination beyond compare, yet conveniently close to home. The Breakers Palm Beach offers everything you desire with the service you deserve in a breathtaking oceanfront setting. Immerse yourself in unparalleled seaside glamour and enjoy all the Breakers has to offer as you create lasting memories with those who matter most. The best part, you don't have to travel far to feel worlds away. Visit thebreakers.com or call 1-800-BREAKERS today.
ESPN West Palm and Tullamore Dew are kicking off the football season at Tin Roof Del Rey. This Sunday, watch Miami vs. Notre Dame with the ESPN West Palm Street Team from 6:30 to 8:30. Enjoy Tullamore Dew specials, green tea shots, Dew and a Brew, Tully and Tenders, plus score prizes like Tullamore Dew cornhole kits. Miami, Notre Dame with ESPN West Palm and Tullamore Dew this Sunday at Tin Roof Del Rey, 8 East Atlantic Avenue. Tullamore Dew, triple distilled blended Irish whiskey.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike, and if you love football, you're in the right place. ESPN 106.3 has it all. Tonight, high school game day is coming to your city. We're on campus for Treasure Coast at Jensen Beach. Coverage begins at 6 here on ESPN 106.3.
ESPN West Palm is on the move. Brought to you by Safebound Moving and Storage, the most trusted moving company in Florida. You're safe with Safebound.
Elevate your drive with the new 2026 Range Rover Velar P250S, where sleek design meets powerful performance. Lease it today for just $749 a month for 36 months, with $6,995 due at signing. This is your chance to command the road in signature Range Rover style. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and make sophistication yours. Land Rover, above and beyond.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Touchdown! Racetrack is proud to support our local high school football teams. Whether it's Friday night lights or tailgate parties, Racetrack has whatever gets you going to fuel all the gridiron excitement this fall. Grab your favorite snacks, crispy chips, delicious Nathan's hot dogs, sweet treats, or our house-made pizza slices. Don't forget to quench your thirst with a variety of ice-cold drinks. Racetrack, your one-stop shop to fuel your football Fridays.
Anajar and Levine. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Kaiser University's flagship campus. The 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 26 national championships, including back-to-back-to-back lacrosse titles, and they just won their first ever national championship for men's tennis. Visit KUCHawks.com for the latest on the championship flagship campus of Kaiser University.
The annual Boca Raton Bowl ABC Supply Company Great Chefs Tailgate Showcase heats up on Wednesday, September 10th from 6 to 8:30 p.m. Join me, Theo Dorsey, at Boca Raton Innovation Campus in Boca Raton as dozens of local chefs, breweries, and cocktail masters serve up their favorite tailgate classics. Tickets are on sale now. It includes all food samplings, beer, wine, cocktails, and soft drinks. Visit spiritofgivingnetwork.org/events to purchase your tickets today.
Your fantasy draft is here. The Smack Talk is starting, and this season, ESPN Bet is giving you more ways to ride with your squad. Introducing ESPN Bet Fan Center, where you can instantly link and bet on your fantasy teams right in the ESPN Bet app. An enhanced sports betting experience only from ESPN Bet, the sports book for sports fans. Download the app today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Hey, it's Reese Davis. Let's be honest, you can't keep an eye on everything unless you've got Blink Outdoor 4 cameras. While you're focused on the game, Blink's keeping an eye on your home.
With up to 2-year battery life and with Sync Module XR, you can cover more space without constant maintenance. No wires, no worries. Blink helps keep an eye on what matters most. Get Blink today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Now, it's time for a little R&R.
All into the bucket, lays it up and in.
Jar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 1063.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy!
Light him up, Collins!
Second hour, Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 1063. You got Colin Russo and Mike Rizzo with you. We're at the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach, streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm. 888-760-3776. Number to get into the program. Your big preview, your big prediction for the week one of the college football season. Is Florida State going to knock off Alabama? Is LSU going to win on the road against Clemson? Is Texas going to win on the road against Ohio State? Can Notre Dame beat Miami? Can Miami beat Notre Dame? Give us your best prediction. 888-760-3776. You get Mike Rizzo behind the glass today. If you missed any of the first hour, you can go listen to it. Russo and Rizzo on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. If you're a Florida State fan and you're trying to get juiced up for the Alabama game this weekend, and whether good or bad, you probably want to top it off with a little Tullamore Dew.
Yep, folks, ESPN West Palm and Tullamore Dew are kicking off football season at Tin Roof Delray. This Sunday, Colin, watch Miami versus Notre Dame with the ESPN West Palm Street Team from 6:30 to 8:30. Enjoy Tullamore Dew's special green tea shots, Dew and Brew, baby, and Tully Tenders. Plus score prizes like Tullamore Dew cornhole kits and sunglasses. Miami versus Notre Dame with ESPN West Palm and Tullamore Dew this Sunday at Tin Roof Delray, 8 East Atlantic Ave. You know where they are. Tullamore Dew. Triple distilled blended whiskey. Once again, watch Miami versus Notre Dame with the ESPN Street Team, the ESPN West Palm Street Team from 6:30 to 8:30. Wow, 6:30 to 8:30. That's Tullamore Dew and our good friends with our ESPN Street Team.
Enjoy that. That should be a great time. That should be a great time. Tin Roof. So make sure you watch the Miami game against Notre Dame alongside us and our pals at Tin Roof. It's time for us to bounce around a little bit. Let's have some fun. Let's do a little 5 and 5% by Flagler Credit Union.
5 topics.
High five.
5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Let's get out of here.
Endless takes.
You can't handle the truth.
All gas. No brakes.
And it's shaking Bank 10.
It's time for the 5 at 5.
Hold on to your butts.
Presented by Flagler Credit Union, proud supporter of FAU athletics. Earn up to $700 per year with boost checking from Flagler Credit Union. Number 1.
Well, Colin, obviously the big news is this weekend college football. We'll get to that in a second. Couple of non-football stories I wanted to touch on first here with the 5 at 5. Colin, first off, number 1, are you putting any stock into the FBI revealing more gambling by Pete Rose in the documents? Apparently, the FBI has found that Pete Rose was involved in gambling more than what was allegedly reported back in the 80s. Kyle, I think he belongs in the Hall of Fame. We've had this conversation before. Your stance is you can't put him in because he's not alive, which I completely understand.
You can't put him in now. You can't put him in now because that's not the right thing to do, to wait till he dies, till he's off the exemplary list or the exception list.
My stance is put him in. I understand it's a bad look even when he's not with us anymore. He's one of the best players of all time. He's your hit.
So
the FBI, he's your hit leader.
The FBI are releasing documents that maybe he is involved in more gambling.
Correct.
If it's similar to what it was and it's pro gambling, he didn't throw any games. Going to be a tricky spot. You're going to have to see how it goes. But I'm still pro Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame because that guy never threw a game in his life. Never threw an incorrect strike. Never struck out on purpose. Never did that once in his life.
I mean, he's arguably the best player of all time with the most hits and the big red machine.
He's one of the best. He's one of the best offensive players of all time.
I don't know. I don't care. Honestly, I don't even care what comes from the damn report.
Number 2.
All right, Kyle, moving on here. 5 at 5 presented by Flagler Credit Union. Get a little tennis. Tell you what, Kyle, you and Jess Welke, one of our teammates here at ESPN West Palm, are the only people in the office that are watching the tennis.
At the U.S. Open, where the Americans are getting knocked off like flies.
Correct, but I'm going to Alcaraz. Colin, apparently he suffered some sort of knee issue, but was able to win the round, was able to win that third set. Give us the spark notes of what has happened at the U.S. Open so far on the tennis side.
Well, I said it. The Americans, Ben Shelton, who's one of the top Americans, probably the top American that can compete with the Alcarazes of the world. He just a medical walkover. He had a shoulder issue, so he stopped playing. So he medically retired mid-match. And Tiafoe is playing right now. Is in the third set, down 2 sets. Is probably in trouble there. The Americans at the U.S. Open, it's not happening this year. Probably not. Taylor Fritz is not doing it. So this is going to be another Alcaraz Sinner final. So get ready for that. That's, by the way, the day of my Ironman, too. So I'm going to miss that as well. That's going to drive me crazy.
I'm sure you're thrilled about that.
Number 3.
Now, Kyle, number 3, 5 at 5, presented by Flagler Credit Union. Let's you got the big games. You got Ohio State and Texas.
Yeah.
You got Florida State, and you got Alabama, and you got LSU and Clemson. Is there any team, Colin, that you're looking forward to seeing in action? Maybe they're playing a lesser team, but is there any team that you're looking at coming up on Saturday, maybe even Sunday? We got games all weekend.
Yeah.
You got Bill Belichick coming up on Monday, Colin. Is there a team you're looking forward to seeing play, even though they're probably not the marquee game of the week?
I got an interesting one for you. It's a team that has in the news cycle for the wrong reasons throughout this entire offseason, and it's Tennessee. Tennessee's got Syracuse at home. That's an early slate game. Tennessee is flirting at the top 25, 24. They're sitting at, that's on ABC, actually, right when it kicks off. It's at Atlanta, so it's a neutral site game. I think this is going to be a very telling game of towards what type of opponent Tennessee is going to be. If they're still going to have that great defense, they always have a great defense under Heupel, the head coach there, Josh Heupel. But they lost their quarterback in the middle of the year. They got the guy from UCLA. They basically made a trade. I'm interested to see if Syracuse can capitalize on a little bit of maybe a Tennessee that's bleeding a little bit from the offseason.
You're high on Heupel, though. By the way, he got an extension.
Good coach.
2030.
He will be hanging around the top 25. That team will always be hanging around the top 25 because of that great defense.
I'm looking forward to Belichick. I really am. Monday. It's.
I don't know a lot about UNC this year, so I am curious to see that.
You're not alone there. There have been plenty of people saying, "I have no idea." Colin, people who cover the league, no idea. By the way, when I say league, ACC, no idea what to expect from this Bill Belichick North Carolina team. Now they play TCU. I'm shooting from the hip here, Colin. They've been irrelevant for the last 2 years, but they're 2 years separated from being in a playoff. I believe Sonny Dykes is still the coach out there at TCU. I don't think that's going to necessarily be easy.
No, it won't be an easy game. North Carolina's completely new here. And them being not even just roster completely new, everything's completely new. Belichick formatted this staff from scratch. He got him in. He's been off the sideline for 2 years. This is going to be it's going to be a weird feel. And it's going to be about him more than the team. I think UNC will win the game, but I don't know enough about him I don't know enough about the players that he got. I know Belichick will do it his own way. He's not going to go after the top guys. I know he got a good NIL endowment. I know he's able to have money allocated to him from the athletic program and the boosters. But Monday Night Football, if there's going to be anything, you might as well do Belichick's first game. But I admittedly don't know enough about them to make any sort of declaration that they'll be any type of big team in the ACC.
Number 4.
Out of all the Florida teams, Miami, Florida State, out of the 3 Florida teams, Colin, that play Division I football that we, really think is at a high level, who's going to have the best weekend out of those 3 teams? Florida, Miami, and Florida State. Who's going to be feeling the best after this weekend?
I will tell you right now that the worst weekend will be Florida State. The worst weekend, Florida State is going to walk away from that game against Alabama like, a guy who just got his lunch money robbed on his way home from school.
Yeah.
And holding the bullies holding him up by the ankles, shaking him out for the quarters to fall out of the pockets. That is what I expect from Florida State. Miami, on the other hand, I think that'll be a pretty good game. I do think Notre Dame will win, but you can't walk away from a game against Notre Dame, even if it's in your building, and say this is a big misfire, because Notre Dame's really good coming off a championship appearance.
Okay. They're really good after losing their quarterback and losing a ton on defense, but Ohio State's not. Move on to Florida, please. You're contradicting yourself all over the place, my friend.
I'm not. Florida's playing along.
They're going to be coming off of an appearance.
Their best player.
Okay. All right.
They're good. They're a rushing football team. They are a rushing football team.
And what
They
is
always
Ohio
have.
State? A passing football team. They had the
With a new
best
quarterback.
receiver.
With a new
With
quarterback.
the best receiver in the
With a new
Colin,
quarterback.
they're calling this guy Calvin Johnson, for God's sakes.
With a new quarterback.
All I'm saying is you are contradicting
I'm
yourself.
not contradicting myself.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Now, Colin, Florida.
Miami has changes too. The only team that doesn't have many changes is Texas, who has the same quarterback who actually saw action last year, who probably could have started if they really needed him to, and he's just going to be slot in there.
I just love how you
Texas.
slid that in there about Notre Dame. I love how you tried
Mike, Jeremiah Love
so
is the best player on Notre Dame, and he is going to be the focal point of that offense.
Oh, my God.
He will have 200 yards on the ground against Miami.
And who's the best player for Ohio State? What have they been known for the last
You
6
could build
years?
a team around a running back and a rushing attack.
You're dead wrong there.
You're
dead wrong
You
there.
cannot build a team around a singular receiver.
You
dead
can't
wrong.
do it. You're dead wrong.
You can't
Let
do
me
it.
know about Florida.
Mike,
all right,
Mike, you can't do it.
Moving on.
Mike, you cannot do
yes,
it.
Colin, it's just the fact you're giving flowers to Notre Dame, who lost a ton of talent.
I'm not.
And
Hold
then
on.
you won't give
Hold
any
on.
flowers to.
Hold on.
You're only doing this is because they're my damn
Mike,
team. That's
Mike,
it.
Mike. Notre Dame was a Riley Leonard was not. I mean, he played well in that first drive against Ohio State. That was a rushing football team. Riley Leonard was okay. They never have a great quarterback. They always have a great rushing attack. Notre Dame, and they always have a great defense. That I can rely on. I can't rely on Mr. No Name coming in at Ohio State and dominating the best team in the country. The first game of the year.
Top 3 in total defense for the last 5 years.
Care.
It's just so
Mike,
wrong.
I don't care.
Colin, tell me what you went through all the 4 teams besides the Gators. Gators got Long Island.
That's too bad.
They got Long Island.
Yeah, they're gonna win 88-0 against Long Island.
I'd wish I play. Honestly, that's the week one you need.
I'm
That's
happy.
the week
Florida,
one you need.
Florida, I'm happy. Take your day off week. Lord knows you guys got a brutal schedule. Take your off week.
To answer my own question, I think Miami's going to be feeling the best because I think they're going to beat Notre Dame. Notre Dame doesn't have a quarterback. I think they lost a lot defensively. They lost a lot on the O-line, too. You mentioned they were rushing attack. They lost a lot on the O-line, too. A lot of those guys are playing on Sunday. I think Miami is going to feel a lot better once Carson Beck balls out.
Number 5.
All right, Kyle. What are you laughing at?
How upset you got because I said Notre Dame will be pretty good.
You just said coming off a national championship appearance. They arguably lost more than, I would say, than the Buckeyes. Honestly, that's why
they?
you
You
contradicted.
They didn't have a ton of
yourself
guys
bit.
drafted.
They have that good. The kid who got torched in the national
he's
championship.
back.
He's back. Yeah. You want to know what I remember that bloke for? Getting torched. Kyle, number 5 today. We're bunking up, man. I'll tell you what. Intern Terrence is in here having a great time. Dude, we're gonna be here till 11. You ready to rock? You ready to rock for a little high school?
For those who don't know,
poor Cade Chums was a nervous Nelly. Cade doesn't have a lot of faith in us with how it's
gonna be fun.
That's why I said
ESPN West Palm High School game day will kick off right after the conclusion of Russo and Rizzo today. We got an hour pregame today. Then you get Christian Cat on the call today for Jensen Beach and against Treasure Coast. So you could hear that right here on these very airwaves, and then us taking you through 11 o'clock hour.
I think Cade said in the nicest possible way tonight, the B squad is doing the production side of high school game day tonight. He's very nervous with me being on the board. Very nervous.
Well, we got a 3-man crew. Can't go that wrong.
I just think everyone forgets that I do Inter Miami by myself.
Can't go that wrong.
It can't. I'm very confident. And listen, intern Terrence knows what to do. We'll be all right. You got intern Terrence.
You got 3 board experienced people operating this.
We'll be all right.
We're not building the bomb. We're not building the bomb.
You got to stop saying that. I agree with Courtney our teammate here at ESPN West Palm.
We're not Oppenheimer, and
you probably got to stop saying that.
Leslie Groves did not come to us in the night and say, we need you to, build the atomic bomb. But we're not asking to do that. This is not what we're doing.
In any way you could reference Oppenheimer, you will, I feel like.
Great movie.
You love that movie.
Great movie.
You love that movie.
Great history lesson.
You eerily, I guess, you love that movie. It's very eerie why you like that movie, by the way.
Great movie. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo. That was our 5 and 5 presented by Flagler Credit Union. Of course, we will take a timeout. We still got to blitz the book a little later on in the program, but we haven't talked about the other games on the docket, including Miami Notre Dame and LSU Clemson, and also the Florida State Alabama game. We'll get into all of that as we take you through Russo and Rizzo right here on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 1063.
I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine. I'm Ellie Anajar. Together, we're Anajar and Levine, and our team is a triple threat to big insurance companies.
Don't settle with the insurance companies for a fraction of what your case is worth. We'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve.
That's the Anajar and Levine difference. Get your free case review right now. We'll help you take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. In office, West Palm Beach.
Kaiser University's flagship campus. The 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 26 national championships, including back-to-back-to-back lacrosse titles, and they just won their first ever national championship for men's tennis. Visit KUCHawks.com for the latest on the championship flagship campus of Kaiser University.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
ESPN West Palm is on the move. Brought to you by Safebound Moving and Storage, the most trusted moving company in Florida. You're safe with Safebound.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
ESPN West Palm and Tullamore Dew are kicking off the football season at Tin Roof Delray. This Sunday, watch Miami versus Notre Dame with the ESPN West Palm Street Team from 6:30 to 8:30. Enjoy Tullamore Dew specials, green tea shots, Dew and a Brew, Tully and Tenders, plus score prizes like Tullamore Dew cornhole kits. Miami, Notre Dame with ESPN West Palm and Tullamore Dew this Sunday at Tin Roof Delray, 8 East Atlantic Avenue. Tullamore Dew, triple distilled blended Irish whiskey.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that wants to learn more about careers with Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got the Knox in the house, right? And I go by the name of Wyclef. I bought the band. And we need all the sexy ladies to report on the dance floor. And you know my slogan.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 1063.
One of the great new features of the ESPN app is where to watch. So what does that mean? You're curious on where to watch a game, or you're more curious on just what's on ESPN today, what's on the ESPN associate programming, where can I watch what? Well, you go to that, you check out your ESPN app, you just press that little icon in the top left, that little TV icon where you can find all the leagues, all the games, and all the spots to watch it. Of course, tomorrow you got a packed slate of college football. You got a packed slate of soccer if you're into that as well. And then all over the place, you just scroll through. Boom, Big Ten Network, ESPN Plus. You got ACC Network, all these great places. The game I'm most looking forward to watching, and you can watch it on ABC. I said it earlier, that Tennessee game. That Tennessee game, I found it on the Where to Watch, ABC. ABC is where I will be watching that. Looking forward to that tomorrow.
I got to go with that Florida State and Alabama game on ABC. That's at 3:30. I had dinner. I got to shout out Doc Al, by the way, Men's Only Medical. Had lunch with him, Vinny, Anthony, and Rico. Two of them with Anthony and Rico went to Florida State. Colin, you want to know how I know that Alabama's probably going to be covering? Rico is trying to buy a point and make it 14. I said, oh, God, that's not what I want to hear. I want to watch Florida State and Alabama, and I really do think Alabama, Kyle, could be one of the top teams coming up in all of college football. I do. I think they have an easier schedule, easy-ish for the SEC, and I'm sold on their quarterback, Ty Simpson. I really think it's his time to shine there, and I think Kalen DeBoer has a lot of pressure on him. People would disagree with me there, but I think if he were to miss the playoff again this year, I think they'd start having, the uncomfortable conversation.
I think it's too early. I think it's entirely too early.
What I'm saying is, if he misses it, there are going to be the conversation of, we don't do that here, Kalen. You know what I mean? The automobile business is going to have a conversation with Ty Simpson and with Kalen DeBoer and tell him, hey, mate, you're going to have to start making the college football play.
I sit here on the hill that you can't tell him to replace Saban, which is already enough of just a monumental ask. You can't have a guy replace Saban and then 2 years later lighten up his seat on fire, telling him to hit the road after a season where they could have been in the playoff but weren't. And then let's say they win 9-10 games again this year. You can't necessarily boot him out of town because of that. I don't think that there's enough of an option externally that would push you to the 11 or 12 just immediately. I think you got to let this sit and let this figure itself out. I think 2 years is way too early. If they're still struggling, still not Alabama football after 3 full seasons, then you could start to talk about it. But I don't think after 2 it makes sense.
Well, Ryan Williams, I mean, if Jeremiah's the best offensive player in the country, Ryan Williams is a close second. I mean, that brother could flat out ball, Kyle. So they're going to be fine offensively. Believe it or not, I guess it's not that hard to believe. I mean, Nick Saban was one of the best defensive coaches of all time. I kind of wonder defensively. They struggled defensively in games throughout last season. I mean, look at the games that they lost. Oklahoma. I mean, really? Oklahoma? You let Oklahoma and their backup?
And they lost to Michigan, too, in the bowl game as well.
That, too. But I brought that up. By the way, I brought bowl games up post-theoretically speaking, and everyone told me to go kick rocks. The bowl games mean nothing because the players aren't trying. So,
for a first-year coach, you got to at least try pretty hard.
Colin, I'll even go to the point. I'll go back to the Oklahoma point. Oklahoma was a bad football team. They lost 34-3 in the Red River rivalry to Texas last year. I mean, they were a bad football team. They were Jackson Arnold. They benched him.
He's at Auburn now.
Correct. But then they started the backup. Then they benched the backup again. Like, that offense was able to put up points against Alabama's defense.
That was year one. It's year one. What do you expect it to be an 11-win team year one?
No, but Kyle, what I'm saying is,
it's who you lost to.
That and defensively. It goes back to what I said defensively. I think Alabama's going to be able to put up points. I wonder defensively. I do.
I can't judge and I can't grade Kalen DeBoer after a season when I haven't even seen this one yet. And let's say this one doesn't go great and he's not in the playoff conversation, top 12, but he's still like, a 9-win season or something like that. I can't necessarily blow it all up because of that. I don't think that's enough of a warrant, especially after 2 years, all the money that you gave him. It's the toughest shoes to fill in the country. People played for Saban. Saban was the gold standard of gold standards. That is an impossible act to follow. I can't knock the guy for not hitting perfection in his first 2 years.
I'm not saying that they're going to fire him after. What I'm saying is they will have a conversation with them like, hey, we're going to have to start making some playoffs here. If they don't make it this year, which I think they will. I told you I'm high on them. I don't think these theoretical conversations are going to have to happen. But if they don't, I mean, it's Alabama, Colin.
But we're on the same page that they're going to kick the crap out of Florida State.
Oh, yeah. I took that 13.5 for Bama. My parlay of the weekend was
that game is 35-12 to 14 all over it.
My parlay of the weekend was Ohio State, Alabama, and LSU. And you think I'm dead wrong on 2 out of the 3, but we definitely agree on poor Florida State. And I feel bad. I do. I tell people all the time, college football is great when Florida State's a good program. It is. When the SEC, when there's a balance between the ACC, SEC, and Big Ten, specifically those 3. Pac-12 back in the day, sure. But, that conference ended up dying after one day. Florida State needs to be good. And I don't think Thomas – I have more problem with the quarterback, the Castellanos kid.
Yeah, you can't give
really
Alabama bulletin board material.
I really do.
Save it or not, you can't say that. Don't say that. Don't be stupid.
Right.
Don't be stupid. For a team you haven't played a game, you haven't won a game for, in your tenure there, your 6-month tenure, you can't go out and say Alabama's not what they were when it's been one season and you're coming from a team that wasn't good, coming into a team that was awful.
To take it a step further, he's posted TikToks. I mean, Colin, if Ryan Day, Cristobal, they saw TikToks being posted. They throw the phone at the wall. I mean, I just don't think Norvell has any control over that football team. Not to mention, one of their best defensive players, Colin, is safety. They're supposed to have a big-time year. Got kicked off the team a week and a half ago after him and a coach got in an altercation. You can't hit a coach. We all agree there. But rumor is that coach was being a you-know-what as well. It's just...
That's a mess.
I don't know how you brought him back in the first place. Maybe I'm dead wrong there.
But here's the thing.
Am I dead wrong on that?
I can't knock Florida State. If they lose this week, let's say they lose by a couple touchdowns, I wouldn't be able to knock that. They need their goal for them is not beating Alabama. The goal for them is making a bowl game. I think they've reached a temper. I know Florida State's one of those great programs that's fallen from grace.
It's not good enough.
But, I mean, you're not going to do you're not going to get a 2-win season. I don't care if it's 2 years removed from an 11-win season. You're not going to go from a 2-win season back up to a 10. Just not going to happen.
I don't understand the Florida State fan that was okay with bringing Norvell back. I got to be honest. With how he handled, hear me out.
2 years removed. It was a year removed.
With how he handled that bowl game and how he handled that portal, bringing in DJU, bringing in that nightmare who doesn't care about playing football and just wants money. And then his immediate response is, oh, let's get the TikTok quarterback who got thrown off the team last year because he wanted his money. Or rather left the team on his own terms. You're not getting rid of
Norvell after 2 years after that season. You're not doing that.
Even after the mess that was 63-3.
That's too much of an impulsive decision.
And I think, listen, more Florida State fans liked that they lost. Florida State fans liked that they lost 63-3 because they thought they were sending a statement, and I think it bit them in the butt in the year after.
That was the start of the end. I agree. When the second you told the team not to try, not to show up, and let Georgia walk all over you, when Georgia had just as many players going to the draft, going to get drafted, despite having a great defense. And Georgia probably had more reason to get a nod into the college football playoff than you did, losing one game in 3 years. Nonetheless, Florida State this year, let's temper those expectations. What are they supposed to win 10 games a year after winning 2 and losing a handful of players once again? The quarterback stunk. If they could win 7 games, 8 games best, if they go 8-4, I think you're really happy. If they win 7 games, I think that's exactly what the expectation lies. I think 7-5. Making a bowl game, it's not going to be the worst bowl game in the history of bowl games. That's not the worst thing in the world.
I said 5 games.
5 games, you're happy?
No, I said they're going to win 5 games.
Oh. When are they happy?
I just think when they fire Norvell.
That's what level of season is the Florida State fan happy?
You're probably right.
7 games?
You're probably right.
7 games you could swallow it. 7 games you could swallow it.
What I'm saying is, and maybe different strokes for different folks, me rooting for who I root for, 7 wins, mate. Someone's getting fired. 2 wins, you're getting fired. So
2 wins, you're getting fired.
You're getting fired. 2
I
wins,
can't say that
fired.
about 7. I can't say that about 7. I can't. Because if Miami could be good, Florida could be good. If you lose those games, lose Alabama, all of a sudden we're at 3 losses.
Try winning 2 games at Ohio State. That's all I'm saying. Try doing that. See how that goes.
Florida State's not Ohio State. Florida State's not Ohio State.
But they should. But listen.
He's making $10 million a year. I agree, but he did give back $4 million of his salary.
Florida State.
It's too much of an impulsive decision.
But what I'm saying is Florida State has the history of an Ohio State. And I think it's ridiculous that Florida State fans are okay with 7 wins. You should be wanting to compete for the ACC in a spot in the college football playoff. All right? You're Florida State.
Now, it's different. It's different, but why was Michigan okay with winning 7 games last year? Because they won a title and because they had a great year the year before and there was a lot of turnover.
And I think a lot of it had to do with the coach. It's a new coach. Norvell's not necessarily a new coach either.
Fine.
and they'd manage. And listen, if Sharon Moore didn't beat Ohio State,
it vindicates you the following
Please.
year when you have as bad of a year, as good of a year as Florida State did. Florida State, I don't think they should have made the playoff, but in terms of putting together a resume, they put together a resume to get in. They did not get in, and now they got screwed out of it. I get it, but I mean, I sit here and thinking after one season to impulsively fire the head coach and go get who?
I look at a Florida State fan who goes, "Yeah, I'm fine with 7 games in a bowl game." You want to know what I say to myself? God, I hope I never become you. I hope I never become you. I feel terrible. It's a big time program. It's one of the best programs in the history of the sport, and they're okay with 7 wins. That's a disgrace. That's on the coach.
You're not turning it around in 1 year. It doesn't happen like that.
It's on the coach.
They had a nuclear holocaust type of year. Like, it was that bad. It was
Why
Armageddon.
is he there? Why is he there then? Because he won 13 games the year before? Give me a break.
Yeah.
He won 2 games at Florida State.
Yes.
Should be out of a job.
No.
Should be coaching Western Michigan.
And go get who, Mike? And Mike, a lot of this is about the alternative. And go get who?
So you're going to stick with Norvell? Win 6
What are you going to go?
games
You're
this
going to
year?
go bring in another mid-major guy? What do you expect for him to do?
Doing nothing is insane as well, in my opinion. Norvell is that bad to where you need to move on. That's where I'm at this point.
But if there's no alternative to go get, I agree. After this year, you have a conversation. If this year, if it doesn't look great, if it doesn't look pretty, at least there's not at least a little bit of hope.
Give Matt Campbell a call. Give Matt Campbell at Iowa State a call. Give him $2 million raise and give him the Florida State.
I don't know if he'd take that job. I don't know. I mean, maybe. I don't know if he would take that
job. What I'm saying is Florida State's that program that could get a coach. I don't think
Campbell's got no Florida ties, too. They're going to want to go somebody with some Southern
Ohio
ties.
guy, but
they're going to want guys
with
a Southern tie. No, they're going to want somebody with Southern ties. They got Norvell from Memphis. Like, are they going to go get another mid-major? It took Norvell 3 years to get to the point of that 13-win season, or the 12-win season. It took them that long. It's a process. They're not a blue blood. They haven't been a blue blood since Jameis. They're not going to win 12 games every year. They're not Ohio State. They're not Georgia. They're not Alabama. They haven't been in 12 years.
Well, they should be, and it's a disgrace they're not. Playing in the ACC as well, a competition that's wide open. Sorry, my soccer jargon's coming in. A conference that's wide open, okay? It's a disgrace, and I feel bad for the people in our office that root for the team.
I don't.
I literally look at them, and I go, I hope I never become you.
I don't.
I don't. It's just
we got to blitz the book. Hey, be a Wisconsin fan if you really want to suffer.
You're not a fan though, so that's why I don't feel bad.
Mike, dude, I disassociate because I already know what's going to happen.
You've never, Colin. You went there for 4 years. I don't. And listen,
sitting there in the stands wanting them to lose.
I should have asked the buddies on the yacht for your fantasy football draft if you were ever considered a Wisconsin fan, because I think I know what their answer is going to be. You have hated that team since you stepped on campus.
I don't hate the team.
Yeah,
I want them to win.
No, you
but
don't.
It's fun to see them lose.
No, you don't.
Mike Rizzo,
you're such a contrarian. It's insane, dude.
Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3. On the flip side, we will blitz the book, courtesy of our friends of Hard Rock Bet. Take our picks of the weekend. Stay tuned for it. Coming up after this on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Hi, this is Scott Smith of Smith Ball, Baez, and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. I have said it many times before, and I will continue to say it for many years to come. There is never a good time for a car accident to occur, and most certainly never ever a good time to suffer injuries in any type of an accident. The accident and its overall aftermath will usually cause pain, difficulty, and stress. Florida law allows accident victims to recover compensation for such losses, injuries, and damages. But such recovery is often not obtained easily and can require a lengthy fight with an insurance company. If you've been injured in an accident, call us now. Don't delay. The initial consultation is completely free of charge. The sooner you call us, the sooner we can put our experienced legal team to work for you. Don't hesitate or pause for another minute. Our experience, knowledge, and resources could be working for you just minutes after the call. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith Ball, Baez, and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith Ball, Baez, and Prather, help is just a phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Summer's winding down, and we know you want to enjoy what's left of it. But before you celebrate this Labor Day weekend, plan ahead and know all your options. If you drink, don't get behind the wheel. Instead, designate a sober driver or catch a ride service. And if you are the designated sober driver, commit to staying sober. Celebrate responsibly and remember to drive sober or get pulled over. This message brought to you by the Florida Department of Transportation.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Feels good to say this with a packed college slate on the docket. Mike and I got to make some picks. Here's what we're going to do this. We're going to do this against each other. What do you say, 3 picks a week? You want to do 4 picks a week?
Let's do 3. Let's keep it simple. Let's do 3. Colin, usually on the slate, it's about 3 big games unless you're getting like a monumental
That's
weekend.
you and your picks, big games. I didn't say I was going big games.
Well, okay. Fair play to you.
Nonetheless,
fair play to you.
We'll blitz the book presented by Hard Rock Bet.
Send some heat. Pin your ears back. It's time to blitz the book. Presented by Hard Rock Bet.
Blitz the book presented by Hard Rock Bet right here on ESPN 106.3. Mike and I are going to pick games against the spread, courtesy of your friends at Hard Rock Bet. You can download the app today on the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Mike, you got games all throughout tomorrow. What are you taking as your first game?
I mean, dude, how can't you take Ohio
All right, I'm going to
State?
fade you. So there's our first 2 games.
Yeah. I mean, Colin, how can't you take Ohio State coming off a national championship? They got the 2 best players in the country. They have a quarterback who's going to fit like a glove in that Ryan Day system. Give me the Buckeyes, Colin, and feel free to fade me at your own risk. Oh, man. I can't wait to come in here on Monday. I might just wear a Brutus hat. I really might. I might have to, Colin, I think I'm going to put my order in now. We have a long weekend. I'm going to have it come in at Sunday or rather Tuesday at 9 a.m. Have it be the first thing I wake up to and I got to come back to work.
Yeah, listen, Mike. You're convincing yourself live on air.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I know this.
You are convincing yourself.
It's a lock, dude.
Live on air.
It's a lock.
That this team has a chance.
By the way, it's a minus 0.5. The Buckeyes have to win by 1. It's a pick 'em. That's what I call a pick 'em, brother.
Wow.
Give me the Buckeyes in a pick 'em.
You're going to be disappointed,
home.
and I hate to see you disappointed, but part of me thinks you're going to listen. It's going to happen.
Well, you're the guy. You're the guy who says, Notre Dame has a lot of momentum after going to a national championship and being the runner-up, being Mississippi. Okay, come on, dead wrong there. Give me your game.
Second game. I'm knocking them out. They're my guys. I'm taking Army, who's actually kicking off in 14 minutes against Tarleton State. Minus 13.5. Give me Army. They're missing their guy. No Bryson Daly this year, but they got the backup. I believe Dwayne Redmond or something like that is their backup quarterback. I haven't seen any of them playing because it was Bryson Daly's show last year, but that is a reload season for Army. They're my guys. I was going to take Navy against VMI. I couldn't find it on Hard Rock.
Navy has their returning quarterback.
Blake Horvath. They're going to be my guys consistently throughout the year, but I'm taking Army in 16 minutes against Tarleton State.
I thought you said you weren't going to do that this year. You had to find new kind of, shticks. I feel like the Service Academy was our – and listen, we love our troops.
Mike, it's my pick. It's not your pick.
But I understand that.
You're upset that I took a Service Academy before you get a chance to.
No, I'm taking the big games, dude.
I
told you.
I'm taking Army minus 13.5.
All right. I'm going to steal Alabama minus 13.5. If you're not taking the big games, I will. Alabama minus 13.5. I just got done saying I don't know how Florida State hangs on to a coach that won 2 games the year before. I'm gonna go with Ty Simpson, Ryan Williams, and company. They're gonna be without their running back, by the way.
Syracuse is getting 13.5 points at 10 against Tennessee in that neutral site game. I'm gonna take Syracuse getting the 13.5.
Hang on, you love Tennessee.
I didn't say I love Tennessee.
Yes, you do. You did last segment. You said you love Hubel. You can't wait to watch him.
I think he's a good coach. But I think that is the game I was most interested in seeing.
Now you're going to be rooting for Fran Brown?
Yeah, I am a Syracuse guy here. Plus 13.5. Army, Texas, and Syracuse.
Dude, you're not consistent today. You're not consistent today.
Mike.
You're not consistent today.
Mike.
You're off today.
No, Mike.
Took the day off.
All I said
no
was Tennessee.
I'm always on the stand, all right? You're not being consistent today, and you know it.
I said it was the game I'm most looking forward to seeing.
Right.
I didn't say that Tennessee was going to be great. I said Tennessee, there's a lot of questions there.
I'm on to you.
Syracuse plus 13.5.
LSU plus 3.5. Fade me because I know you like Clemson.
LSU you're taking LSU plus 3.5.
Yeah, I think this game is huge for Brian Kelly. And I think he's a desperate dog. I think LSU are desperate dogs this year. I really do. I mean, how does Kelly survive another year losing 3 games and not the playoff? That'd be 4 years now where Brian Kelly doesn't make the college football playoff with the SEC.
2 teams coming straight off losing the first game of the season. Keep that in mind.
And also, like, Clemson plays in the ACC. LSU needs this game. I think they do have an easier schedule, LSU, comparatively to Florida, to Oklahoma,
but not to
some
Clemson.
of the other. Clemson can lose this game, win the ACC, and LSU needs this game.
That's the one thing.
Kelly.
That's why I wouldn't touch that game. I actually can see that game going both ways because of that very point. I don't necessarily. I think Clemson's a better team. I think Clemson will be the better team by the time it's all said and done. I don't know enough. The thing is, I trust the teams where I actually know something. I know something about Clemson. I don't know anything about Army. I don't know anything about Syracuse or Tennessee for that matter. The fact that I don't concerns me. And the fact that it's such a big line concerns me. I don't know. Having them cover 2 touchdowns. Give me Syracuse, give me Army. But back to that LSU game. LSU's desperate. They want that first game of the season. Everything's supposedly lining up in the right direction for the first time since Brian Kelly's got there. There's a lot riding on that game. The one thing is it's a very tough home field or away game environment. Home field advantage.
Louisville won there last year.
That's true. And so did South Carolina. But it's still it's a tough place to play.
It's at night.
They never lose
it wasn't at night. I love night games. I think night games have that added pressure. Battle of the Death Valleys, too. I think it's a really cool game. And I do give credit.
I wouldn't touch that game because I think I could see it going either way.
Who's your third game?
My third game was Syracuse.
Okay.
And Syracuse, Army. I wrote them down. Syracuse, Army, and then I've taken the Texas plus half point.
Oh, yeah. That's where I'm missing because you just said you were going to fade me.
So Texas is plus half a point. Army, which is kicking off in 9 minutes. And then Syracuse plus 13.5. You want a game to watch tonight? I got a game for us to watch tonight.
I mean, bro, we're bunking up. I think you forget we're bunking up in here, man.
And you're taking on the flip side. You're going to take Ohio State, giving up the half points. So essentially a pick 'em.
Yep.
LSU plus 3.5, and then Alabama minus 13.
Correct. I'm taking the big games. I'm a suck. It's the first weekend. Usually I don't like taking all the big games, Colin.
This is the game.
Watching objective.
This is the weeks where you could take advantage of the lines because nobody knows these teams. Right. Nobody, including the people that make the lines. Like they do their research, but you don't know these teams till you watch them.
Yep. And I know you disagree with me, and so does Joe Fortenbaugh, for the record. He loves Clemson this year. I'm not on him yet. I got to see him beat someone outside of the ACC and someone, their best one was SMU last year. It's my fight back on that.
I hear you. But to me, returning production, which Ohio State has none of.
That's not true, but it's okay.
Returning production and a returning quarterback means a lot.
I'll listen to the quarterback. And
means a lot.
And I think that's why I'm most excited to watch that game. Nussmeier and Klubnik are both being floated as number 1 picks next year. Now, we said the same thing for Jalen Milroe and Carson Beck. Listen, that game was amazing. It lived up to the hype, that Georgia-Alabama game last year. But we got to see these guys play a full year. Milroe ended up being, a 5th-round pick?
Yeah, everybody started talking about how great these quarterbacks are this year. All right, it's time to see it. Time to trust them. There's a lot of guys with experience coming into college football this year, or lack thereof, like Ohio State. So that's why this is going to be a fascinating weekend of college sports. Big surprise of the weekend. Do you have one in mind?
Big surprise.
Here's my surprise. I think Syracuse is really going to stay with Tennessee.
I guess this is a surprise. I have the Hurricanes winning. Sunday against Notre Dame. I do. I have Carson Beck playing a great game. One thing, Mike Tannenbaum was dead wrong about Texas, but he was right on Carson Beck. He was right on Beck. I think Beck has a huge game.
Huge game, huge year?
I think so. You're high on Klubnik. I'm high on Beck.
Before this year 1 star, who's your Heisman?
It's probably still Arch. Probably Arch Manning.
So you think the guy who you think is going to stink
for one game?
For one game is going to stink
for one game.
You don't stink for one game and win the Heisman.
Yeah, you can. He can win the SEC and go on a run in the playoff. Be unreal. He's just, and you want to know what they're going to say? Can I put my announcer voice on? It was his first time as a starter, it's you know what they're going to say. It was a tough road environment playing Ohio State after a national championship. I hear it now. I'm dead right there.
Mike,
ding, ding, ding.
They're going to hang that banner, and then Arch Manning is going to request the football, and they're going to score in 7 plays.
Dude, Sark is not going to get the ball.
7 plays.
Dude, Sark is going to defer. You are hysterical.
7 plays, Mike.
So
when they score in 7 plays, and then the next drive that Texas has, the ball goes over the punter's head, and he has to dive on it in the end zone to get a safety.
You're ridiculous.
And then it's going to be 27-15 final score. Then and only then, I will accept your apology.
You are ridiculous.
I'll only accept your apology after that happens.
I'm walking in that. I'm starting the show on Tuesday when Ohio State wins with the Brutus mascot hat on. I'm gonna literally be Brutus the Buckeye for the first segment.
All right,
Stephanie's gonna kill me.
Let's take away the goggles for a second. Let's take away the Ohio State goggles for a second.
For about a minute.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being you're nervous as hell, wedding day. 1 is we're good to go. Where are you?
About a 6. I think that's fair.
You're at 6.
I told you I think the score is going to be 21-17. I think
that
it's going to
should be higher
game.
than 6, I feel like, because that's a 1-possession close game. But you're only at 6.
Probably at 6. I told you there's a little bit in me that thinks Ohio State's going to blow the doors off. Dude, what you don't know. What you don't know. Hang on. What you don't know is that Ryan Day has been preaching to the boys. We're rebuilding this thing brick by brick. Last year's championship meant absolutely nothing.
Oh, please.
And they've been laying the scarlet. They've been laying the scarlet bricks.
They're complacent.
No, they're not.
They're complacent.
You are out of your mind.
They're complacent.
You are out of your mind.
They're complacent.
Day would never let him get complacent.
Who has a lot to gain? Who has a lot to lose? I appreciate Mike Rizzo keeping us up over the air. If you're a high school football fan, stick around because we got a packed program upcoming right after this. We got the pregame of ESPN West Palm High School game day coming up on these very airwaves. You can catch it on YouTube at ESPN Top 63, and also check out our Twitter all night. Jensen Beach, Treasure Coast. We got the coverage there. You can hear me on the pregame. Your Christian Cat on the call. We got you up to 11 p.m. then. But if you missed any of the program today on Russo and Rizzo, you can catch it on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. All those great places. Just look up Russo and Rizzo. You can watch it back on ESPN West Palm, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X. We'll see you on Tuesday. Enjoy the long weekend. Enjoy some college football. Enjoy it all. This has been Colin Russo signing off, saying so long. We'll see you next time right here on Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.